Welcome back, everybody. And today we are going to discuss about coastal plains and life in coastal plains. And so this is the part two. If you have not watched the part one, please watch it and and please subscribe my channel. So let's begin about states of western coast of India. So let's begin with Gujarat. So it stretches out in the Arabian Sea. So it's in the western coast. So obviously, it would be like it coast would be at the side of Arabian Sea with a hint of desert. So as I told you in my previous video, that Gujarat is just doesn't have coast. It also has like a little part is in the desert and with a coastline of 1,600 kilometers long is Gujarat. So now let me ask you a question. Which state's coastline is the longest? So the the answer is the state that we are discussing, Gujarat. And I told you this in my previous video if you remember. So now let's continue. The home state of Mahatma Gandhi. It is renowned for its beaches. So you can say it's famous for its beaches, temple towns, and historic capitals. So if you say what are the temple towns here, so you can say Dwarka is the perfect example. So now wildlife sanctuaries are also famous, and hill resorts and natural grandeur are the gifts of Gujarat. So these are the main tourist attraction. Why tourists get attract to Gujarat? These are some of the main reasons. Gujarat was also known as. So these are the ancient names of Gujarat: Pratichaya and Varuna. Now, as we have discussed about Gujarat, now let's come on to Goa. Goa is a state in western India with coastline stretching along the Arabian Sea. So now we are discussing about western coast. So obviously it would be in the western coast. Its long history as Portuguese colony prior to 1961 is evident in the preserved 17th century churches and the area's tropical spice plantation. So, let me tell you an amazing fact about Goa. So, like in the or like 75 years before or more than that also, India was ruled by British. So most of you know that. But Goa was ruled by Portuguese. It was not. It was a Portuguese territory like Daman and Diu. It was not. It was not under the British, and it became the part of India in the 1961. So it's the second last state to join India. The last state, for your extra knowledge, was Sikkim. And before that, before 1972, Sikkim was its own country and a rule, and it had king rule. Goa is also known for its beaches. So all of you must know that Goa's beaches are very much famous, ranging from popular stretches at Baga and Polam to those laid-back fishing villages such as Agonda. So Agonda is a laid-back fishing village in Goa. So now we have completed about Goa. Let's come on to our next state, Kerala. Kerala is a state on tropical Malabar coast. So I told you that there are two parts in the western coast. So one of them is the Malabar coast, has nearly 600 kilometers of Arabian Sea shoreline. So it has 600 kilometers of shoreline, 1,000 kilometers less than Gujarat, the highest. of Arabian shoreline. It's known for its palm-lined beaches and backwaters. So Kerala's backwaters are very famous, and palm-lined beaches. A network of canals too. And inlands are the Western Ghats mountains whose slopes support tea, coffee, and spice plantation as well as wildlife. So, Western, I told you that Western Ghats separate coastal plains from Deccan Plateau. So, in those Western Ghats, and especially in the Western Ghat mountain slopes that are present in Kerala, tea plantation, tea plantation and coffee plantation, spice plantation are present, and wildlife is also supported a lot. National parks like Eraviculam and Periyar plus Land and other sanctuaries are home to elephants, langur, monkeys, and tigers. So we have come, and these sanctuaries are home to elephant, langur, monkeys, and tigers. So now we have completed with Kerala. Let's go on to our next state. That's Maharashtra. Maharashtra is a state in the western and central peninsular region of India, occupying a substantial portion of the Deccan Plateau. So it's in the western and central peninsular region. So what's peninsular? A place that's surrounded by water from three sides. So coastal or peninsular, both are the same. Or India, occupying a subsequent portion of the Deccan Plateau. This center of India is in this state, the center of India. So this is at the center of India. Maharashtra is the second most populous state in India, as well as the third most populous country subdivision in the world. So it's the second most populated state behind Uttar Pradesh, as well as the third most populous country subdivision in the world. So country is divided into states. So in the world, the third most populated subdivision is Maharashtra. So now let's continue with the next fact. It is famous for its caves and rock cut architecture, as in Ajanta Ellora and caves, that is also one of the UNESCO as World Heritage Site. So Ajanta Ellora caves are one of the most famous ancient architect of Maharashtra. So their carving and the designing is so great that it would take many years in the modern world to make it. Its architect is just like looking like it would feel like it's impossible in that time, and still it was made thousands of years ago. So this shows how great is our India. Now let's continue with our topic. Some of the temples in Maharashtra are over 1000 years old. And so, as I told you, that Ajanta Ellora caves are more than 1000 years old, and some temples in Maharashtra, not only Ajanta and Ellora caves, but many more are also 1000 years old. And 1000 is not a short duration of time. So now let's come on the last state of western coast. Karnataka is a state in southernmost India with Arabian Sea coastline. The capital, Bangalore, formerly Bangalore, is a high-tech hub known for its shopping and nightlife. To the southwest, Mysore is home to lavish temples, including Mysore Palace, former seat of the region's Maharajas, Hampi, once the medieval Vijayaraja's empire capital, contains ruins of Hindu temples, elephant stables, and a stone chariot. So now let me explain you in detail. So the capital Bangalore. before it was known as Bangalore, few years before. And all of you must know that it's the tech hub of India. It's where it has the most startups in India. To the south, and Mysore is the home to lavish temples. Temples of Mysore are very famous, including Mysore Palace. So all of you must have heard about Mysore Palace. Former, and it was the former seat of the region's Maharajas. So Maharajas are the kings. It was the palace for olden time kings. So now it's Bangalore. Maybe in previous time Mysore may be the capital, or it could even be that the state of Karnataka was divided into two parts. So we'll discuss this some other time. Now let's continue. And Hampi is a UNESCO heritage site too, and it's even known for its medieval empire capital containing ruins of Hindu temples. So now let's continue. So now we'll continue with eastern coast of India. So states of eastern coast of India. Tamil Nadu, a South Indian state, is famed for its Dravidian style Hindu temples in Madurai. So Madurai is a city in Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu is famous for its Hindu temples in Dravidian style. Meenakshi Amman temple has a high gopuram towers ornamented with colorful figures. So Meenakshi Amman is one of the famous temple on Pamban Islands. This is an island in Tamil Nadu. Rameswaram temple is a pilgrim site. So Rameswamy temple is the is one of the pilgrim sites. The town of Kanyakumari at India's southernmost state is the site of ritual sunrises. So the name Kanyakumari, I even used it in my previous video. So now I'll tell you a little more about Kanyakumari. So Kanyakumari is the southernmost. I told you this before, and it's even famous for its site of ritual sunrises. So now I have a question for you. From which place to which place does the eastern and western coast extend? And is Kanyakumari, and does both of them extend to Kanyakumari? True or false? So now let's come on to West Bengal. West Bengal is a state in eastern India between the Himalayas and the Bay of Bengal. So it's in the northern plain side, most of it, but it has a little part in the in the coastal plains or peninsular region. Its capital, Kolkata, before it was known as Calcutta, retains architectural and cultural remains of its past as an East Indian Company trading post and capital of the British Raj. So when the British ruled India, Kolkata was the capital, not Delhi. So all of you must know it. And the East India Company started from here, and just the East India and Bay of, and Bengal, West Bengal is also located in the east. That so this is just a fact. It was known as East India Company because when it started, it was just ruling the East India. The city's colonial landmarks include the government buildings around B.P. Bagh Square and the iconic Victoria Memorial. So Victoria Memorial is one of the tourist places in West Bengal dedicated to Britain's Queen. Now let's come on to the next state, Odisha. Before it was known as Odisha. Odisha. So an eastern Indian state on the Bay of Bengal is known for its tribal culture and its many ancient Hindu temples. So, the tribal culture of Odisha and its Hindu temples are very famous. The capital, Bhubaneswar, is home to hundreds of temples, notably the intricately carved Mukteswar. So, Mukteswar is one of the famous Hindu temple of Odisha in its capital Bhubaneswar, and Jagannath temple is also one of the famous temple of this state. The Lingaraj temple complex dating to the 11th century. So it's, you can say, around 1000-year old. 21st century and 11th century, so on almost 1000 years old, is set around sacred Bindusagar Lake. The Odisha State Museum is focused on the area's history and environment. Now let's come on the last state, eastern coast, Andhra Pradesh. It is a state in the southeastern coastal region of India. It is the seventh largest state by area, covering an area of 1,62,975 kilometers. So all of you must remember that Andhra Pradesh has the third longest coastline and Tamil Nadu the second. I mentioned it in my last video, and I even told this, and 10th most popular state with 49 crore 4 crore 93,086 lakh 799 inhabitants. Andhra Pradesh is one of the leading rice growing states in the country and is a major producer of India's tobacco. The state's rivers, particularly the Godavari and the Krishna, but also the Penneru. So not only the Godavari and the Krishna flow from here, also the Penneru account for its agricultural importance. Praksam Barrage on the Krishna River, Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, India. So now let's continue with the islands of India. The Andaman Islands are an Indian archipelago in the Bay of Bengal. These roughly 300 islands are known for their palm-lined white sand beaches. So the white sand beaches are popular for here, and you must think that in my previous video I told 500. Now I am coming 300. There are 500, but they are divided like that. If we just count totally properly, they are 300. Not 300, roughly. Mangroves and tropical rainforests. Coral reefs supporting marine life such as sharks and rays. So rays are one of the marine life, make for popular diving and snorkeling sites. So Andaman and Nicobar Island is an island. So obviously diving must be very much popular here, and as I told you in my before video that diving is one of the main occupations. Pearl diving is one of the main occupation of coastal plains. and it's more famous especially for tourists is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Indigenous Andaman Islanders inhabit the more remote islands, many of which are off to limits to visitors. So some of them are not allowed to visitors because of few reasons. And one more thing, the Salyar jail of Andaman and Nicobar Island in Port Blair was was the jail in which British in the time of British Raj, the the jail the jailers were kept, and that included freedom fighters because they were so that time they were also in the jail. So so that in that jail they were kept, and that was far away from the mainland. And one more fact, Andaman and Nicobar Islands was the first part of Azad Hind. And why? Because Subhash Chandra Bose, who 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 Subhash Chandra Bose wanted more people in his army so that they could become strong. So they thought that from the jail they could take more people to make their army strong enough to fight towards the British. So that's why they got they Andaman and Nicobar Island became the first part of Azad Hind, and before that Japan took it from British. So in the World War, Japan captured it, and so from British, and then Japan gave it to Subhash Chandra Bose. So now let's continue. Lakshadweep is a tropical archipelago of 36 atolls and coral reefs in the Lakshadweep Sea of the coast of Kerala, India. Just observe the map. Kerala and Lakshadweep, they are nearby. Maybe for Kerala there are few nearby states too, but for Lakshadweep the nearest is Kerala. Not all of the islands are inhabited, and only a few are open to visitors, and permits are required. Kavrati, the capital, one of the more developed islands, is home to dozens of mosques, including the ornately decorated Urja Mosque, as well as Kavravati Aquarium, showcasing regional fish, sharks, and coral species. So these are a few photos of coastal plains and islands. So thank you everybody to watch my video. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and like my video. Thank you. Bye.